Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. And the Las Vegas Raiders taking on Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They were losers last time out, but winners of 7 of 9 prior to that. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talked about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
And here's a give to Spears. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. The numbers for Spears on the ground a week ago. 15 carries, 57 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Spears. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You look at this Steeler defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up, and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game.
Toward the sideline, intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That good for 22 and a first down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability?
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Drew Sanders. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
First carry for Najee Harris. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. But look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 15 carries, 104 yards, and a score as well.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the ball, and he'll see it often.
Now a first carry here for their running back. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. The Steelers come into this one in search of win number 13 on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Fields now to throw. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Back to throw, Fields. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
They've got well up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Here's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Spillane. And the Raiders are going to get the football back at their own 17.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Tua going to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Tua to throw again. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 2nd and 6. Hand off to Spears. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he fires one incomplete. You look at this Raiders defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season. But if they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
Here's 2nd and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This will be fielded at the 17. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. To throw is Fields. Flush to his right. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Now Fields. That's going to be caught by Pickens. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the 50, here's Fields. A short one there to Freiermuth. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Fields going to move them around. From the 35 on 2nd down. Fields, a short one there to Freiermuth. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Fields on 1st down. Throw left side, pulled in by Mingo. No gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Fields. Eluding the pressure right. He's got this to Pickens. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now it's Fields. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Jamison Williams. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 2nd down, Tua. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun to give to Spears. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Two and now on first down. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. On play action, here's Tua. Looking deep for Adams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's caught by Myers. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
That is caught, and he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Tua sets up to pass it. Over the middle, complete. It's Montgomery. Driving for the goal line, but he's marked down short. And with no timeouts, no chance to get the field goal unit out there. And frustration going to set in as that is going to be how this first half will come to a close.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it is the Chargers who have the lead in that one. Justin Herbert with 2 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. The Falcons looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Curtis Samuel, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. Here we go on the return from the 1-yard line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. A shotgun snap, Fields. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Christian Wilkins there defensively for the stop.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Point after try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact. That's to the left side where he's got Bowers.
And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And the ball on the 30, here's 2nd and 4. They fake the handoff, now Tua. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now a first down throw. Fields. Open man, that's the tight end, Freiermuth. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
2nd and 5 from the 8. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Back to throw. Fields. Throw over the middle. He finds Williams. And the Steelers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there, with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Steelers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 28-0. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Now Tua. Pass complete right side to Bowers. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
The Raiders on third down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They're looking at third and a few inches. Here's Tua. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them. Perfect time to get it done.
Tua now on first down. And that's complete to Adams. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now a 2nd and 2. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Throw over the middle. He's got Ruckert. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Tua going to throw. Once again, Ruckert. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. And again, it's Tagovailoa. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw again. Montgomery, another target and catch. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter, you're going. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jacoby Myers from 3 yards out. And the Raiders are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Got an open man, it's Pickens. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's a give up the middle. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Steelers are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. From the gun, it's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Connection made to Ruckert. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Tua to throw again. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Point after here coming up. It's good, and it's now 35-14. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Robert Spillane able to bring him down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now 2nd and 9. There they'll keep it. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. That's caught left side. Myers with it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down. He'll look to throw. It's Myers again with another catch. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, hooks up with a tight end, Bowers. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. One final try for Tagovailoa. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Pittsburgh, it'll be a 13th win on the year. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.